Hello. Last year from people fighting poverty. And, I seen this message and I thought to myself, this is how my day starts. And then I had to rethink it and think, this is how every day starts for this person. I don't know if this is male or female. This message came to me on social media. It says, thanks for what you do for people. I'm currently on ODSP, so that's in Ontario. I'm currently on ODSP for brain malformation and assist on this person's spine, panic disorder, and PTSD. This person claims that they had to go bankrupt from student loans, and now they're taking $225 out of the ODSP. This person says that they're scared to speak up. I guess they're afraid that ODSP might punish some more. But I want everybody who can speak up know that they can message many news reporter, emails. I'm really grateful for people like myself. I just had to send this message, as social media can sometimes be a mean place, and wanted myself to have a kind message thanking me. And it says, all you do is go on Google and type CTV News, email, CBC News, type, etc. And eventually people who can speak up keep bombarding them. They will have no choice but to air the struggle we all face. That's because this person only gets $1,069, I guess, on ODSP, and have the person living, doesn't say her or him, it says me. They have me living on $844 a month with insane medical conditions, and they expect this person to work. I guess this person has to microwave a beanbag every 12 minutes, I guess because of the pain in the back. And this person says that they're scared for the future, and this person's only 28 or I guess under 30, and is seriously contemplating maid, medically assisted in dying. This is what we've turned into. This is Canada. Is this really the example that we want to lead for the rest of the world to witness? Canada is the third richest country on the world as far as natural resources go. Third richest. We're third behind Argentina and the United States. And this is how we treat people with medical conditions, people with disabilities. We've cut back on social programs to the point where people are literally starving in their homes. And the only solution that we're offering people is government-sanctioned suicide. We could give it all the fancy terms on medically assisted in dying. Now let's call it what it is. Government-sanctioned suicide. So is it the role of government to be making suicide easier, socially acceptable? Because anytime you legalize anything, the only thing it does is make it socially acceptable, and they can't even really call it what it is. It is government-sanctioned suicide, but let's give it a fancy name, maid, like we're taking out the garbage. This person's under 30 years old and considering suicide. Not suicide by their own hand, but suicide by the government's hand. We don't even execute prisoners. We don't execute murderers. We abolished capital punishment for shooting a cop, killing a cop. I don't know, sometime in the mid-60s we took that away. We don't even execute people that murder cops, but yet it's okay. It's okay. The government says it's okay to kill people with disabilities and keep people with medical conditions. Is it not the role of government to try and enhance the quality of life for people that are struggling? How about we just kill people for if they lose their jobs, that we don't have to give them unemployment insurance? How about if we just kill people when they turn 65 so we don't have to give them a pension plan? At what point that as a country we start to not recognize the value of human life? I asked my doctor once, I said, I says, we have all kinds of problems with our medical system from one coast to the other. What do you think the solution is? And I expected him to say, oh, well, it's mid-management or it's too top-heavy or a number of other issues. You know what he said to me? Because he does a lot of work in the ER. He says, we get these old people, his own words. He says, we get these old people that come into the emergency with this and that. We do x-rays, we do CAT scans, we do MRIs, we do this, test that, test. And next thing you know, we're spending $250,000 on these people. That's what he said, on these people. They said, for what? For maybe another 6 months of life? That's our medical system? That's what we've turned into? Would you want that doctor examining you? At what point did we stop recognizing the value of a human being? Let's just kill them all. This is Canada. Is this really the example we want the rest of the world to witness? And it's pretty sad when we end up with a situation like this, where the only option that this person can see is government-sanctioned suicide. And I don't want to hear about abuse, this, abuse, that. You want to talk about abuse? Let's look at abuse at the other level. We had an MLA here in Alberta that was renting out his taxpayer-funded condo. We have rural MLAs that share the cost of travel and share the cost of renting a condo in our capital city. They share it, and yet they claim full expenses on their expense account. That's abuse. That's abuse. But it's so easy to look down on people and blame them. Blame them. Now let's start looking up at the people that we entrust to manage our affairs. Let's start looking up at the abuse they're doing. Our newly minted premier that we have now decided he was going to charter an airplane and fly other provinces' premiers and their wives and I guess their staff, charter a plane and fly them around on a dime of the Alberta taxpayers. But my God, let's not give the people that did on disabilities an extra dime. That's abuse. That's abuse. So let's not try and enhance the quality of life for the people that are struggling in poverty, or their children, by the way. Let's not try and improve the quality of life of Canada as our most vulnerable. No, let's not do that. And I will repeat this again. I'm scared of my future. I'm only 28 years old, contemplating maid, medically assisted in dying, government-sanctioned suicide. So I honestly thank you for speaking up always. I have to be the voice for People, because they're afraid. They're afraid that if they speak up, they're going to be punished through ODSP, or whether it could be age or any number of social programs across this country. So not only do we manipulate them and keep them under the thumb through the threat of being cut off, the threat of treating a human being like an untrained dog. No, we can't help them. The only help we can offer them is, well, you can always go and kill yourself. Go talk to your doctor. Go talk to a doctor that doesn't value the life of a senior citizen because they milk the system for another 6 or 7 months. Send them to that doctor to discuss the options of maid. Is this what we've turned into? Something's backwards here. And it's not good. Who do we blame? This is not the Canada I grew up in. This is not the Canada I want my grandchildren to grow up in. This is not the Canada I want people that are less fortunate than the people that are making the decisions, that the vulnerable, the disabled, their children. You want to talk about social cost? Somebody that's 35 years old decides that they're going to do the maid option and leave their children with what? Social services. Last week, a couple of weeks ago, there was a lady in Ontario, 52 years old, that took the option of maid because she couldn't get proper housing. She was basically homeless. 52-year-old lady with a disability ended up on the streets. Decided that the only option she had was maid. Is this the Canada you were raised in? Is this the Canada we want the rest of the world to watch? It's not the Canada I was raised in. And something needs to be changed. Thank you.